I'm Jen Cushman. I'm an intuitive healer from Pine, Arizona. My life before the turning point was actually pretty good. I mean, I have an amazing family, I have an amazing husband, I have a job that I love. The problem is I was like a lobster in a pot. And what happens is each year, I just kept feeling a little bit worse and a little bit worse and a little bit worse. And I didn't even know I was feeling bad until I finally felt so bad I couldn't take it anymore. It was more physical with me, what was going on. My blood pressure, I had really high blood pressure. It started when I was pregnant with my son, and it went away when I had him. But then with my daughter, I ended up having where I needed blood pressure meds all the time. And then over the years, it just kept getting higher and higher and higher. I kept getting a higher dose. It was just hard to have the stamina and the energy for the life, the physical stamina. I had the emotional stamina, I had the spiritual stamina for my life, but physically my body was just heavy and tired and big and sluggish is really what was going on. It just didn't feel good to be in my body. It was summer of 2019 and my family and I went to Europe. We went to London for a week and then we met up with my husband's family in Germany for another week. When we were walking through London, we walked probably about 10 miles that day and it was hot. And it was I just wasn't feeling well. And my body was really giving out on me. And my husband was really kind of pushing us to get back to the Airbnb at the end of the night. And we were walking across a bridge and I went down, like I just passed out and I went down. And it's actually gonna make me cry because the last thing I heard as I was going down was my daughter, who was 10 at the time, just screaming. Like she was so scared and she was so afraid. And I passed out, but I passed out to my daughter screaming. And it was just awful. And then I woke up and I looked up and I saw everybody. I saw strangers. There was a nurse there and she put my feet up and, there were people taking care of me. And my husband was really concerned and my kids were really concerned. And I just didn't feel well. And it was like at that moment, it was finally the thing that was like, okay, this has got to stop. I can't ignore this anymore. And I will never get that sound of my daughter's scream out of my head, no matter what. And when I mess up, I think of that. I came home from Europe. I knew I had to do something. My weight had gotten to the highest level it had ever been in my life. And so I decided I was going to start with a nutritionist. So I found a really great nutritionist. I also found a really great doctor who would help me and get some things started and taken care of. And I lost weight and I really started changing myself and started changing a lot of things and feeling good about myself. And then at that point, I knew that I wanted to optimize my health. So I wanted to seek out a really amazing, naturopathic doctor, an integrative health doctor, because I knew that was the way I wanted to go. And I found Dr. Roxie, and we just really started to really hone in on all the changes I had made and hone in to really make sure that I was able to optimize it and live my best life. I really started with food and nutrition. That was my base start to really find that and really got a handle on my eating. And then after that, I started exercising. And I had stopped exercising for 25 years. Like I really had stopped it, right? So I really was like, okay, it's time to add the exercise piece in. And I started walking and then I got back in the pool and I started swimming. And I about died swimming my first 2 laps. And I just kept going and I kept going. And I eventually worked my way up to now I swim 3 days a week and I swim a mile each time I go. So I swim 3 miles a week. I walk every afternoon. My husband and I take the dogs for a walk. I do yoga twice a week and I just have daily movement. And daily movement is really the key to keeping me happy and healthy and whole and on balance. And it doesn't really matter what I do, just so long as I actually move my body, because I find when I move my body, I move my energy. And when I move my energy, I get my energy back and I feel amazing. And that's really what you do. You just have to take care of yourself. I do self-care on a daily basis. My life really changed from all of this. And one of the things that happened is my outside started to match my inside. My physical health actually started to match my emotional energy, my spiritual energy, and what I had going. And so all of that allowed me, my physical health allowed me to just show up and be so much more present in my life every single day. And I just started living my truth. I started living this way of being. And when COVID hit, I just decided that the world was really having a really rough time and it was really sad. So I started a weekly live stream that I do it on Mondays. I call it Magic Mondays. And I go for an hour and we just talk about health and wellness and uplifting and energy and spirituality. And I just try to inspire everybody else that no matter where you are in your life, you can start. The most important thing is to stop the excuses and start where you're at, and then just take baby steps. And eventually you'll be swimming 3 miles a week and it works, you know? If I could give a hug to anybody in the entire world, I would give a hug to my mom and dad again. My father, he passed away, he crossed over 6 years ago. My mother followed him 6 months later, and I miss them every single day. So if I could just hold them, it would be amazing.